All right, folks, we are wrapping up day 2 of practice for stop number 3 of the FLW Tour. This one presented by Costa at Lake Seminole. I got John Canada with me. Man, you know this lake. You've been here a bunch for Costa FLW Series events. Last fall, well, last winter really, we had a big hurricane.
Yes.
Can you kind of lay out some of the differences, you know, what happened to this lake?
I think a lot of the places where them fish were spawning, like it's washed a lot of mud in my areas, like places that I had, you know, sandbars and different areas that you could catch them spawning, and it's just trashed them. I mean, that's what me and Clayton were just talking about, probably out of the 300 waypoints that I have here, you know, just isolated bars that these fish usually spawn on, 90% of them, their mud are gone. I mean, and there's no...
All right, I've heard like half, I've heard 3/4, 90% is high, but I like it.
Well, 80% of my stuff, I mean, a lot of stuff I've had to look, you know, a lot of stuff that's been hidden from the storm.
Yeah.
You know, behind stuff is still safe. Stuff that's out in the open, it got pretty much blown away.
Okay, that's interesting. Is that sort of par for the course in all of the arms, or do you feel like there are a couple of the arms were kind of came through a little more unscathed?
The Spring Creek area got, you know, hit pretty hard. I'd say up this part of the river is not as bad. There's actually more grass here.
Okay, we're in the Flint here now.
In the Flint, that's correct. Yeah, Flint. I haven't been up the hooch and spent a lot of time up there. I usually go up there and catch some, but a lot of the places that I catch those fish, when I went and looked, it's gone too also.
Okay.
So it got blown away. Between there and the dam, it got hit pretty hard. And so a lot of the stuff that them fish can stage on, there's not a lot of grass. And a lot of places where you catch these fish staging, they're just not there.
All right. Yesterday we had really good weather. Yeah. Today, not so much. It's cold. How's the fishing?
Fishing was good yesterday. I had a lot of bites. You know, I had some bites yesterday. Today was a 5 to 7 bite kind of deal. But I did go spend some time offshore. Spent half my day offshore trying to find 1 or 2 little sweet spots, or just one specific area to try to catch 1 or 2 good fish. And I caught one decent one today. I mean, I actually wasn't going to leave my hook on, took my hook off, got frustrated, tired of not getting bite. I caught a 6-pounder. So,
oh, man.
Yeah. So there it goes.
When you say offshore, do you mean, like, is this deep winter, like idle over it kind of stuff, or is this offshore fishing in grass? Maybe you can idle it, maybe you can't kind of stuff.
You can idle a lot of it. I mean, I think everybody out there is idling around looking, you know, for the isolated grass.
I'm sure Buddy Gross is doing a lot of that.
Yeah, so staying in the house, we've been talking about it. We spent a lot of time, me and him both offshore. We looked at each other a lot today trying to find
Is he gonna catch
places. He's been tough. He's been saying it's tough at the house.
That sounds like he's going to catch
saying the same thing. But you know how that is. We hear that every time. So, I mean, if that's the new trademark, I didn't catch anything today either. Maybe I'll luck up and do good.
All righty. We've got, you know, a lot. The weather's going to warm up as this week goes on, as the tournament goes on. Do you figure that'll move the fish much, or just sort of make the fish easier to catch and like make things just better?
I think if you could get more bites. I mean, on this lake, it's hard to catch a limit, especially at 14 inches. I mean, you can catch some 12 inchers, but, you know, catching 5 quality fish, if you can get 5 to 7 bites, the guy that can get 5 to 7 bites and capitalize, even if they're 3-pounders on this lake, tough as it is, you're still, you know, I think 14 a day, 15 a day is going to get you a good check. And I mean, if you get that one big bite, you know, a 7 or 8 pounder on this lake changes everything. Yes, it changes everything.
All right. Obviously, you've seen this lake good times, you've seen it bad times. What's your vibe for a winning weight? Because I know you're talking like, well, not many bites, but Brian Thrift's out here.
Oh, I know.
Scott Martin just left, and they get big in this lake.
That's right, they do. I mean, this is actually one of my favorite lakes to come to, and I mean, it's been upsetting to me because I like to stay super shallow, on this lake. And with a 30-degree weather coming, I just don't feel like I can do that the first day. I've actually going to have to change. Now, I feel like if you can make Saturday and Sunday with the warmer weather, things are going to get interesting, and what can happen and what can show up, and you know, the right things can turn out on this lake. Because I mean, you can get a 10-pound bite at any minute on this lake, just like in Florida. You get a 7, 8, 9-pound bite, some 3-pounders, you know, you're sitting really good.
All righty. Well, man, thanks for stopping by. Good luck out there.
You got it. Appreciate it.
All right, folks, moving right along, we got Brian Thrift here. Brian, I think the last Costa here you finished second, or if not, it was one of the last Costas you fished here.
Yeah, one of the last ones I finished second. We actually came last year, and I think I finished mid-20s.
Point is, you're good here.
No. Every time I come here, like, I've had some good events, but I've always been like this close to being a bomb.
All right. Well, you've had 2 days out here now. You're freezing. You look real dapper, though. I mean, you're not even in like your rain suit and everything. You
Well, I
don't
got
have a
my
hat
bibs
on. Like, you're looking fancy.
You caught me off guard. You caught me off guard. I'm strapping my stuff down. You said you want to do an interview. I said yes. So forgot my hat. I'm here though.
All right. Well, how's Seminole treating you?
I haven't found what I'm looking for yet. We'll put it that way.
Okay.
I had a few bites yesterday and a few less today, so I've got one more day to hopefully go find something. Like, I haven't found a home yet, and I feel like that's what you got to do at Seminole. The 2 times I've done good here, I've kind of found an area that I could call home and stay all day, and I haven't found that yet.
All right. Now, I know when you were coming up, you used to run and gun all over the place, and like that was kind of the Brian Thrift way.
Yeah.
And I feel like now you are kind of good at finding homes. So do you like that you need to find a place, or would you rather just run all over the place?
I like to do both. Like,
okay. You like catching fish?
Yeah, I like catching fish. And, you know, if I can find a pattern that fits one or the other, I'm happy. But right now, I've found neither one. So,
all right.
And this place is hard to run and gun on.
Yeah, it's a lot of like run and then idle.
Yeah, a lot of that.
I guess on this lake, you've got a lot of options as far as sort of your depth ranges go. I mean, you can be up really shallow in the grass. You can be out really deep. Do you feel like you've kind of narrowed anything on that front down?
No.
Where you're like, well, I need to look at least in this kind of stuff?
No, I haven't narrowed anything down right now. I've caught fish from 2 feet to 12 feet, and none of it's real consistent for me right now.
Okay.
And I haven't caught any big ones. I've caught a 4-pounder or 2, but it's totally random, and I definitely don't feel like I could go in the area and do it again. So I really don't know. I'm kind of at a loss right now. So I got to figure something out tomorrow.
All righty. I know usually you fish in the sort of, let's say, like lower part of the lake, you know, not way up any of the arms, or at least that's where it seems like. Do you have any thoughts of doing that? I mean, I know tomorrow's the last day of practice, but it's a different lake after the hurricane, so maybe it means you want to fish it a little differently.
I'm still going to focus down on the lower end, you know, Spring Creek area, just because historically that's where 90% of the bass live, or catchable bass, it seems like. Most of every tournament's won in that area, so I'm going to spend all my time there and see what I can find. And if I don't find nothing, I guess I can go up a river during the tournament. I mean, it's a stupid river. All you do is throw it to the bank. So. Yeah,
you wouldn't catch them in a river ever, though.
No, not if I could help it.
We know that, right?
That's exactly right. That's why I'm down in the lake, not up a river.
All righty. One other thing I want to ask is, you know, we've seen guys win here on all kinds of different baits.
Right.
Swim baits. We've seen guys win dragon stuff. I know lipless crankbaits are like a big thing here. Do you feel like all that's going to play, or do you think this cold weather is going to force people to like really actually slow down?
I still got to think all that's going to play. I mean, I know the fish have already had a big spawn. It was warm down here for a couple weeks ago, and I think I don't think there's anything
you can see some beds if you go looking around.
Yeah, you can see some beds, and I don't think you can rule anything out.
All right.
I really don't.
Well, you know, bring your top. Make sure you bring all your baits. Basically, you got top waters. You got everything. Do you ever not bring all your baits?
Never. I've always got everything.
All right. Well, Brian, good luck with everything, and good luck tomorrow on the last day.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Take it easy.